It's been a while. It's been like 3 years, I think. So I haven't posted here in a while. Realistically, it's because I thought this was going to be a hobby, and it turned out to be basically full-time freelance work. And I know that a lot of people dive into the world of the creative and content creation, and they start playing with a camera, and then, you know, get sidetracked. They make a lot of projects, creative projects and everything. But I started playing with a camera a long time ago, and then pretty quickly found out you can make money through camera work, and I took it and ran with it. Fast forward to today, this is the new studio, and I'm nervous as anyone can be right now because it's a big commitment. I'm essentially guaranteeing that I'm going to be productive and on point and focused, and I won't get distracted, because at the end of the day, I still have to pay the rent month to month to month to month to month. And it's hard to explain how I got here. I can do my best to tell you and paint a picture as to how I ended up in this position and why I made a decision that to some people may be completely insane, because when you're doing video production work primarily, and then you're doing photography as like a secondary, there's really no guarantee that you are going to be getting paid enough regularly through renting a brick and mortar video production studio house. Like, in a perfect world, I can sub this out, I can rent this out, and have creators come and create their own content. And then in that sense, then yeah, it's totally a financial decision that's worth making. But right now, I'm going off of just impulse, and I'm betting on myself. And I feel like not enough people do that, or people don't do it often enough, where they just completely, hands down, just say, you know what, I have faith in myself, and I think this is the right decision, and I'm gonna do this, and it's the right idea, and let's do it. Let's double down, let's do it. That's not always the case. And I'm here to tell you that you're not alone, and I'm gambling on myself, and you are gonna be here to watch me either succeed and kill it and do the best work I've ever done, and show you guys how to do the best work I've ever done, and the behind the scenes, the finances, everything that goes with working in this field. Or you get to see me crash and burn, and I'm gonna document, you're gonna see me crying on camera. So I don't know which way it's gonna go, but what I can guarantee is that I'm gonna do the best I can to showcase how that happened. And typically, I wouldn't really be recording something like this, because I've always had this problem where anything I want to record, it's like, nah, it's got to be perfectly lit, it's got to be perfectly colored, the weather's got to be right, everything's got to be good, or else I don't want to film for myself. So I'm taking a stab at it and just saying, you know what, I signed the lease, the certificate of occupancy has been approved as of today, fire's been approved, I got everything I need to open the doors and be green lit. So now it's like there's no excuse. Like, now I have to, it's swim or swim. I have to do it. And we're here today. The first day operational as the beginning of a production house, or the beginning of a small time, potentially big time in the future, production establishment. Somebody or a team that you can rely on to provide you the content you need for your business, to solve the problems that you need solved, and ultimately produce the content you need. I'm here, my boy Alex is here. He's a wonderful friend of mine, huge advocate of myself, and one of the biggest reasons that I can say that he means the world to me is because me and him, we keep each other accountable. If we ever catch ourselves veering off to a side or veering off in the world of distraction and just self-doubt. Like, we're always there to big each other up and push each other forward. He's a fantastic photographer. I'm gonna sprinkle some of his shots in the video. He's been shooting for, I don't even know how long. How long have you been shooting?
9, almost 10 years.
A decade. He's got a decade under his belt of shooting. I met him through, was it Ocho? Ocho. Oh, sorry. So our mutual friend, his name is Carlos. We know him as Ocho. He's known in the community as Ocho, in the photography community, in the car community. We're New Jersey based, so tri-state, like immediate tri-state, like that's all us. And I've known Ocho for like, wow. I met Ocho in like 2009. And I met him at a car meet down in Edgewater. We were all in the car community. And I was fresh to Jersey. I came from Queens. And I met him at Edgewater Thursday night car shows. If you know, you know. And since then, we've been boys to this day. He was the best man at my wedding. I hold him in high accord. He taught me a lot of what I know. And from when I met him in 2009 to when he first convinced me to go and experiment with video, because I had always been okay with shooting. I've always had an eye for it. I've always enjoyed the act of shooting photography. Like, my brother was originally, he had the eye since he was younger than me. He was picking up a camera and he was shooting with it. And I had a little taste for it, you know, like I got my own little small camera. It was a Nikon something, I don't remember. And I was shooting cars with it because cars was all I knew. And then he pivoted because I knew Photoshop and I knew how to manipulate photos, and he would take photos. So I taught him the ins and outs of Photoshop. He took it and he found his love for graphic design. So my brother now, he's a killer graphic designer out in LA. If he's cool with me posting his portfolio, I'll put it down in the description below. I'm gonna check with him first. So I've always had this love for it, even from watching music videos growing up, because I would come home and my mom, she was always working. So I would just come home and like, it was just TV and video games. So like, it was TRL, music videos all day long. And then video games like Super Nintendo, like PlayStation 1, like it was just, that's all I knew. So cinema didn't really come into my life until I started paying attention to the music videos. And I always had a love for it. And whenever I would watch a movie, it would be, I couldn't wait to finish the movie because I wanted to watch the behind the scenes. Because I didn't care for the story. I didn't care for the plot. I didn't care for who was in it. I was like, this looks great. The shots are awesome. How did they do this? I wanted to know how they did it. So that was my biggest motivator in hindsight, because I didn't realize that that was so impactful to me until recently, actually. So I met Ocho. We started playing with cars for a long time. He was a photographer. I always knew he was a photographer. And then next thing you know, he's pivoting into video and showing me the car videos he made. We started staying up all night watching car videos, and Crispy was a big influencer. Halcyon was a big influencer in that time frame. So we were like, man, how do we even get close to them? I would always be scared of like picking up the camera to do video until he's like, no, you're gonna take this camera and you're gonna do it. And back at this time, it was like a A6500. It was like a crop sensor Sony from not too long ago, but to me, it feels like forever ago. Started making car videos. We started shooting car shows, event coverage. We got in bed with Top Gear Porsche, Rick's Magazine. We started doing a lot of content for them. And then we started realizing that like, we can get paid for this, but we didn't get paid directly through the car community, because if you shoot cars already, you know that people who own cars and they want videos of their cars, you're gonna be targeting like the $100 to like $400 maybe demographic of people, and you're gonna spend a whole day dealing with them. So you're basically capping yourself to like a $400 to $600 day rate. And it was like, that was crazy, because it always ended up being more than just a day. So we ended up pivoting a little bit, and he brought me on my first wedding. He brought me on my first portrait shoots, and he started really showing me that I was like, no, man, if you want to make money, like, you have to start engaging with people. I took that to heart and started moving into portraiture, and then I just took it to the next step, and I'm like, you know what, let me pitch my local pub. and I pitched a pub and I started doing content for the pub. And then from there, it was like all the gears started turning and it was like, wow, I can actually get paid for this. That was in the, you know, the 2013, 15 to like 18. 2019, I really started to pick up and hustle with it. And then COVID happened. I was in a dark place for a little bit. And then once restrictions got lifted, I was like, you know what? Let's really get after it. So I started just working with smaller businesses and putting out content for them. And during this whole time, I never really cared for my own content. Not that I didn't think it was important. I knew it was important. I just wanted to showcase like what I was working on. I never really showcased how I was working on it or how I got it or any details from there. And I ran into this marketing company through the current job I was holding. I was working with my wife as a dog groomer because my wife owns a dog grooming salon. Me and her started working together probably around right before COVID. So for the 6 years that we built this relationship with the community, I started meeting more and more clients for like engagements and Sweet 16s and all this portraiture work. And then I ran into a company, a marketing company that was local, that was still growing. They were in their early stages, and together, me and this marketing company, we've been on a lot of engagements and we've worked with high profile brands, some luxury brands. I'm gonna get confirmation whether or not I can say this. If I can't say it, I'm gonna redact it. But I've worked with brands such as Rolex. I've worked with brands such as Omega. We've worked with TRX, a gym company. We've worked with the PGA Tour, it blew my mind to be on the course with the PGA Tour, because that alone, being in front of like Scotty Scheffler and Xander and like all these big time golf players, and it's like, I'm in the green, I'm in front of the ropes with these guys, and it's like, I'm getting these beauty shots for their emotional engagements, and it's like, I looked at what I was doing and I was like, dude, I was taking videos of cars in a parking lot and now I'm on the green at the Players Championship. I'm like, this is insane. So if you ever doubt yourself, just know that it will work, it can work, it is something that is feasible, it is possible, and I'm a testament to it. And the reason I'm making this video is because I just want to let you in on what really goes on and how it really gets done and how it happens and how many times I wing it, how many times I fumble, and who can help you, how you can make these connections and how you can use these connections to your advantage and tell more of the story behind everything, you know? Like, I left out a huge portion of my media creation, which was some local buddies of mine. I hold them dearly to my heart because we've worked together to build a brand called Tuner Vision. You may or may not know me from there. You may not have any idea that I work with the brand. We've been working together on Tuner Vision for the last going on 3 years now. And the community we've been able to build at Tuner Vision is insane. Going from like a lower follower count to all the way surpassing the 20K mark and engaging with the community and giving away all these cars through e-commerce, it's like, it's wild to me. And they're two friends of mine, Jason and Sean. I hold them dearly to my heart because we've been through a lot together building that brand and building that company to where it is now. And they are also in the same boat where we hold each other accountable and we pick each other up when we're doing down, when we're feeling down. And without them, like, I don't know if I'd have the courage to really pursue this full time. And it went from a hobby to just side hustle to just like full time now. And I don't regret anything and I don't know what's coming, but all I know is that I'm gambling on myself and you should too. Cheers. How's that, motherfucker?
You started off great, you went into monotone afterwards.
No way.
Watch it.
That's way better than the other one, though.
Oh, it sounds good.